In our last session, the group met up in a tavern as many groups first start off, except this time it's to exchange words and final words and gifts and blessings from the friends they made and brought with them thus far from Sigil, from Ark, and finally culminating in this tavern meeting in a quiet part of Zendika's account. In the compass point, Seru offered some magical gifts, but cited he needed to take care of Twitch, wherever their paths might lead them with the wind's favor. Sashir gave them a drink on the house, and provided something that Burks left behind, that Nika might find use for even if Moment couldn't. Moment in turn passed him his hat for safekeeping in case there was any bard that has tails, and he noted that Sashir put it together carefully with a record of other mementos and recordings, perhaps from others that did not return. Hayes appreciates the gesture of the drink on the house, and Verity passes the log of their group's entire journey so far for the officers that may come by. Zoltan simply provides a little token gift of the Dustman, warding Verity, Hayes, and Nika against death. Tia asks them to break a leg and gives Nika her favorite fruit hat, which turns out to be a hat of disguise, such that she may be at least fashionable should she perish. And Varkatu states that this is the moment to find out if there is a god coming along with the party. And the party states their due appreciation for his help. Less expectedly, Mantok also offers to come along. His bravado recognized immediately by Nika, even as Mantok bosses around the contact, informing him to keep the Warren safe. And the contact starts stuffing his face with cheese after the farewell. Zoltan has some words about the final death. The group makes their decision, and Zoltan does not even look at Moment for this entire exchange. Last but not least, Sayil asks Verity about his hesitation, and the deal is sealed there with a wedding out of nowhere, perhaps that surprises no one at all. As Verity gives Sayil a hug, Varkatu pronounces them man and partner, and strangely enough, there is a divine source of blessing for a ceremony on this. And as the group moves themselves through the portal, they find themselves in an alien realm, deep, possibly below the city of Malakir, if at all they recognize its presence. It is here that they meet the strange vampiric lady simply known as the Keeper, something so ancient and old that she seems more resigned than wrathful or even hostile towards the group. She simply states what the Eldrazi have come to be, what their place is in Zendika, why they are virtually inseparable, and the consequences of their departure should such actually happen. She states the meaninglessness of eternity, of how Zendikar has been stretched beyond the age of its world soul and given borrowed time over and over again against its prison and its survival. No gods will come to Zendikar. Many things cannot be comprehended by certain individuals, even as they struggle around them. Verity with peace, for one, and others with finality. She states the consequences, and the group decides ultimately that this changes nothing about their revelation, that they have made their decision, that perhaps this is the truth, moment of truth, and After realizing that pretty much all the vampires around her, or if not in the city itself, are enthralled to her, and by proxy, she is both Emrakul's keeper as well as servant. The group engages in a fight with the keeper. Momon, in some of his most poignant words, hopes to learn more, but feels tired as well about royalty, about life, about survival, about giving life, though he will try. Verity states he will still assist another world. He may never ever find peace. He will probably find the next conflict over and over again. But for now, he focuses on Zendikar. And Hayes has trouble perhaps comprehending self, though he does manifest himself well when he refuses an offer of a piece of Eldrazi flesh. Or is it? When they state their readiness about what is inevitable and so forth, the battle begins in a familiar place once when they fought the many-faced demigod. But here their enemy is the Keeper, a being ancient and beholden to time itself. As she strides across the arena, and the group finds themselves aging, slowing, hasting, growing younger, all the while trying to put their memory and notes to the test about what they remember of the battlefield. Ultimately, they do prevail, though not without cause, as Mantok does fall in combat. And when they do emerge victorious, victory itself is a question mark. For the voice of Emrakul itself, herself, bellows forth from the entrance of the Soul Stair. And this is where we begin today, where it started.
So we descend.
Verity heals up a moment.
The Keeper simply says, "It will not matter, though you may."
Ominous.
We descend.
All right. You descend down the Soul Stair, a place where few, especially not the living, have ever trodden. The Soul Stair itself is aptly named, for anything to do with solid concrete or stone quickly gives way into a spiraling mass of nigh intangible green gases and sounds faintly like wails and voices and babbling, as you realize that so many souls have gathered within Zendikar, though perhaps not natively, that it forms an almost tangible bridge as you descend down, feeling yourself striding across the backs and memories of thousands, countless millions of life forms, both familiar and foreign. And each step as you move resonates with you. Let's start with who's in front?
Verity, of course. Verity and
What
Sile.
are you thinking about?
At this moment going down, he is mostly thinking about what comes ahead, like what form would Emrakul be. But in the back of his mind, he is also thinking about the safety of Sile, actually. He's like considering. But yeah.
All right. Well, first things first, as you all enter the domain of Emrakul, things just cut off.
What do you mean?
Any effects on yourselves are dispelled. Gift of alacrity, mage armor, death ward, etc., etc.
Mm.
Oh.
Okay.
Secondly, anyone with external connections feels them cut off.
Oh.
Cannot speak
Oh,
with
dear.
my deity or
Well-
my dad.
Well,
It's not
My-
even like a gradual thing. It's just there's one part where you step through and it's severed completely.
well, my part is also gone.
Hmm.
That's
Does my
ominous.
magical weapon?
Anything
alacrity
given
is
to you by your patron is gone.
Oh, I am useless.
Mm.
My weapon is non-existent.
For Verity, anything to do with your father, anything to do with your god, anything to do with Arya is severed.
Oh. I think Hayes retains everything.
Haze
That means
If
the
an-
necklace is not,
is not functioning.
except for the adaptation part. I'm not sure.
Even that.
Mm. So magic items just doesn't work.
No. As in anything tied externally, or as something you brought like from another place, something latched on somewhere else just stops working.
Mm.
Haze for you, things sharpen, perspectives become more clear.
Oh.
So what to the other seems like formless masses of green and faint voices and babbling and all that form almost like pictures to you.
I see. So I can see the souls as people.
Not as people actually. Like where they are crystallized in this area, you can perceive them in terms of history. It's
Ah,
as if you are witnessing each soul tends to have certain prominent records and recollections, and you can pick out the brightest images among them, like the moments that mattered the most or the most character defining parts of the soul.
I see. Souls are moments.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Ah.
And
This one looks at the various shapes with curiosity and is surprised that no one else is paying attention to them.
well, for Verity, as he thinks about what form would Emrakul be, and thinking about safety of Sahil, Verity's own thoughts crystallize. Well,
In what way?
as Verity steps on a stair that seems indistinguishable from the others, the souls that Haze can see resonate beneath Verity and swarm around him as if like leeching and like hanging onto this momentum of thought as they shift to reflect pictures of Verity's own current thoughts and concerns.
Hmm.
And they see Verity's thoughts shapes to everyone to be a miniature of Emrakul as they perceived it in Moment's vision by the Raven Queen's influence. A vast, dark, tentacular being, countless and endless, just inches away from them. And with the other part of the thought, there is Sahil as well, somewhere just hovering above this entity of Emrakul, playing in the distance as he plays with a wooden stick that will eventually turn into a wooden sword as he practices his childhood sparring with Verity.
Curious.
Only Haze sees it.
All of you can
think
see
everyone
Verities,
Oh.
but Haze
Yeah.
can see much, much more.
Okay.
These remnants here appear to be able to reflect your thoughts.
Verity is self-conscious about his thoughts.
Um,
Not sure if like what they think will become reality, you know, that kind of thing.
I think I think I notice everyone regard Verity's crystallizations, and then from that I infer that, oh, they couldn't see the others. This one believes that this one's current state allows it to see more. And then you look at some other stuff that you guys weren't looking at before
Okay.
and look back.
We
Verity's
try to look.
thoughts that crystallize there remain hanging in the air as if they've been recorded and added.
Hmm.
Verity will ask Hayes what else he can
Who
see.
is second in line that isn't Hayes?
Mm,
How narrow is the pathway? Like the
It's
staircase.
as wide as you want it to be.
Okay. Hayes will be at the top, so last.
Okay.
Okay.
Who
Nika
wants to be
at the
second?
top.
guess I'll be. Yeah, since Nika's back, so I'll be second then.
Yeah.
Okay. What is Moment's current thoughts?
Current thought will be, well, he was thinking of something else, but immediately after you told me that my external contact was cut off, he thought of if the Raven Queen would be able to see this or not. But that's the immediate thought he have right now.
All
But
right.
before this, he's thinking of
Okay, never mind.
whether to
Just the current one matters. So Moment takes the second step after Verity, feeling his severance,
Mhm.
and his thoughts crystallize as himself lying on the ground there, and a great feathered being departs from him in a flurry of dropped, broken, bloodied wings, leaving.
Oh no.
So we cannot see that, right?
You can see this.
Verity will say, will ask Moment. Actually, not ask. He will just like say, so you feel the severance as well from your patron?
I never been this disconnected in my life, actually.
Yes, me too. It's the first time I felt cut off from everything.
Well, the most noticeable one is this guy over here, and he goes to his crossbow to the side, and you can see that it is not feathered anymore.
The crossbow, was it?
I'm using the vicious crossbow, the real one, not the one that Raven Queen gave me.
The feathers sort of blacken and burn away from it as you
Yeah.
produced it.
Yeah, so I show it to Verity. It's like, yeah.
And I feel my protection is not going to be extended as far as I would be, because. And he takes out the necklace actually and show you all. The blessings of my father is nowhere to be found anymore.
The necklace looks dim and tarnished.
Whenever we got blessing from Saru and Zoltan, I feel like it is all gone.
Well, the armor on me was disappeared, so I assume everything else that they gave is inconsequential right now.
Okay. Next is Nika. What's Nika thinking about right now?
Well, considering that everybody's sort of pointed all of this out, she's trying not to think about anything. She's just watching and generally quite quiet. Because she's wanting to know
a wisdom saving throw to blank your mind.
Okay. 14.
14 does not pass. You try to moments, thoughts of departure crystallize there as well, forming a permanent image that blends in with the stare. And for Nika, trying not to think about things, I would say something of the deepest concern to her, not her current thought, would pop up instead. What would that be?
What's at the bottom? She doesn't know.
Yeah, because I think she hasn't seen. Oh wait, she
She
has
saw,
seen
she saw.
Emrakul. She was
She
there.
saw. She saw.
Her deepest concern pops up.
It's just a pool of black.
For Nika, as her deepest concern pops up instead, various shapes crystallize around her as the souls are drawn forth to her concerns. And Nika recognizes some of the whisperings around her, and Hayes notices that almost all the souls drawn to her are core in nature, as they join in with their own faint whispers of the core language. And as Nika's concerns arise about what might lie beneath, she starts seeing the imagery form around her of a brilliant, dazzling city in flight, in motion, eternal and graceful, never needing to touch the contaminated surface of a damned world.
She sees this and then thinks, oh, this was in the book that the blue lady wrote allegedly, and now all she's thinking about is bananas.
The second thought comes in, but the floating city of the core, as it moves past in an observatory mood, unheeding and uncaring of tearing apart of the land below, that is what gets preserved from Nika's thoughts. And moving on, we have Hayes.
This is when
Hayes.
Arkatu
Rather
is-
than he has the best stealth roll of everyone possible, so he'll come last, but Hayes. Well, rather than your thoughts, you realize seeing all these things moving around, all these figments, all these souls, all these pieces of history, you realize you can simply command them to show you what you want to see.
Oh, I see. I will form the shadow forest that I grew up in, because that fills me with comfort and safety.
There's some hesitation at first from the souls, and some of the souls shift forward that you recognize as elves, possibly from Joraga and other places in Zendikar where they might be found. Let's see. Murasa elves, Clan Joraga, and so forth, as they start like combining together to form an imagery of what is appropriately a forest. And then you see other darker souls creeping in, realizing that they probably belong to vampires. As they start painting the strokes of the forest with a shadow, swamp colors, as they might, turning it into something more austere and less brilliant with life. And you can see other figures coming forth as well. Merfolk and core artisans who start crafting and shaping the dream into something more resemblant of what you recall of the Shadow Forest, until you have a perfect replica worked on by combined efforts.
Haze begins to creep with more confidence.
And the rest of you also see this, these very, like the souls that crowd around Haze are massive. There's a whole bunch of them, far more than any of you have drawn. They seek to comply, and the vision doesn't appear immediately, but forms piece by piece to perfection in specification. And Varkato speaks of this. What are you really?
This one is no longer certain.
Would you call yourself a god?
Hayes looks down at the question to his hands. This one does not feel the power associated with one described as such. This one is still too weak.
As Varkatu tries to talk further to Hayes, there's a fluttering of images around him, and he hisses something harshly in his language, and the images scatter.
Wait, he can hiss it away?
He's just like, no! You're interrupting my flow of thought.
What?
Waves them away like flies.
No crystallization for you.
Well, Hayes, you can that's what others see. For Hayes, he can see like the images flying forward. Well, quite a few of them goblins, some of them vampires. But as they near him, there's like a flash from Varkatu's skull as something just steals his will there.
Ah, interesting.
And for a moment, he has an impenetrable fortress that the images just shift back from to find easier targets.
I see.
He has something protecting
Yeah,
him.
he can resist it.
Hmm.
Him have the power.
And you all continue moving down in this strange, lifeless place with the souls around you. And then the souls start prodding and prying as they get thicker, as you get deeper, as breathing starts feeling a bit thin with the air around you, if it can even be considered air. Loneliness and time settling in, the souls forming images preserved for eternity, and history in wisp and weaves, each revealed from an angle, every angle in perpetuity. And they threaten to start swarming you, and soon it's not even your current thoughts, Verity. In the front, images are swarming you, souls and souls are piling upon, like dazzling you with images upon images upon images of each current thought and so forth, becoming impossible to proceed. What would you like to do about this, Hayes? It's as if like all these souls were starved of some kind of a connection that forms like our imagery. No new history has appeared here in a long time, and they're all swarming to you to try and get content.
This is towards Haze, right?
No, swarming the whole group.
Oh, the whole group.
Hmm.
I mean,
So in that
a
case,
wall?
This one believes they
actually,
wish for a story.
I actually, you know what? I might have a lot of story to tell. I'm if I'm thinking something right now, will those things materialize?
They tend to gravitate towards whichever has the strongest thoughts or most interesting ones.
Interesting.
As if you think of yourself doing laundry, they're going to look for something more meaningful for recording.
How about a birth of a vampire?
A what?
Namely, Moment's story.
Okay, Moment thinks about the birth of a vampire.
An individual vampire named Moment.
Well, you know what? This is your moment. So tell us. As
Okay.
the figures swarm into you, and many of them, you hear them hissing approval, and you recognize those are also vampiric souls. As they gather to illuminate your story.
Okay, let me see. Where is my not in my phone? Moment, where are you? Yeah, Moment's hat. It's let's see. A human, a once human scholar, a sage, went around tombs in Malakir, all around the what's this place? This place, searching for Gudras. Yeah, there you go, Gudras. Look for tombs and relic to study and history of this weirdly lifeless place. He hit a wall that there are some information has been guarded, but someone gave him a choice, a promise that once he would say opportune to study greater knowledge, but now he has abandoned. So yeah, that one. And then you see once he became as such a vampire, he at first still continues his search study for knowledge, but then something else in his mind, the hunger, the vampiric hunger hits him. Something he wouldn't want to do, and sometimes even being forced by the blood chieftain to make him to feed. Through points he might even starve himself, until one day an odd bird flew next to him with a weirdly shadowy weapon on the ground next to him, beckoning him to take it. Promise that she will satiate this hunger. So without any thought, he picked up this weapon, and his hunger didn't subside but lessen, per se, as if it was shared. So now he can sort of like resist hunger, what limited amount, as limited as the power may be. So yeah, that started off a different path that he once would not take, which is to see the beauty of the land. And now it tells how he travels along the path, see the beauty, and his most beloved spot, the glass pool, and always wanted to go to venture into the puzzle tower, so on and so forth. That's how much I wrote down.
Very good. Very well done. So, for the first time, everyone sees the full story of Moment as it unfolds. As he steps, the souls wrap around him with images, and for a moment the light is shifted strangely enough to make him look human as he walks, and the souls stare around changes, rippling into scenes of ethereal tombs, of swamps, of things and museums, of texts, and an encounter with a vampire, something shrouded in shadow and mystery. The bite coming, the strange shifting of blur and darkness and red and scent and blood hunting and hunger. This is shared in the moment as it ripples again, and they see the image of this bird with feathers, dark and plumed and clean, nothing like the scavenging birds or vultures, leaving behind its mark. And from there, Moment steps forward, and his footsteps are like ink blots on a map that start expanding, rising into shapes. And at some point, you're not even sure if you're moving up and down the soul stair or where you are, because you are part of the brilliant imagery as well, moving along the glass pool in 3 dimensions, and even the fourths and fifths as time shifts around it. And for a moment, you see it in its solid spectral form that brightens with colors as if it were an existent structure once more, with scholars and mechanicians running around trying to maintain a desperate device. And it's a brief fleeting moment as a strange floating goblin just walks in, peering around before heading back out. And then you pass through another scene of Teltarik, the puzzle tower, shifting and grinding as a vampire now moves past it, drawing a sketch, making notes, and then coming back later with a strange group, some flying, some teleporting, none of them looking in clothes remotely appropriate to Zendikar, but there they are anyway, entering. And the puzzle tower grinds and shifts in configurations unknown to man. And the journey continues on this map until it is cut off by some abrupt force like a knife across the canvas, but the rest of the canvas remains sparkling and shimmering and is added to the repository of knowledge.
I hope that is satiate enough for most of them.
Most of the souls, vampiric, elven, and some merfolk even, are joining into this mirage, creating this brilliant tapestry as you go forth. But there are others that Hayes can sense being dissatisfied. Humans, goblins, the strange Surakar of this land, and other strange creatures like sphinxes. And these continue to hound your passage, blocking your way. Who wants to toss them a bone?
Hayes will submit a memory. It will be the time where he met Verity.
Oh,
Verity was
the swamp.
trespassing in his swamp,
Yep.
and then he attacked Verity, and they had a fight in which Hayes was bested. As much as he jumped from shadow to shadow, Verity would just illuminate the area and there would be no shadows to jump to. And Thus, he was forced to jump directly to Verity, and he lost that particular battle. After which, he admits defeat and commands that Verity do his duty and finish him off, but Verity refuse. After which there is a long discussion in which Hayes shares that his purpose is just to defend his swamp, and that given that he has failed to do so, he no longer has a purpose for continuing. And Verity convinces him that he is able to get stronger by finding new purpose. Tells Hayes about the Harmonium and what they do to uphold order. And Hayes is confused. Does this make him strong? Maybe if Hayes follows this strange, soft-voiced, armored individual, he can learn and become strong like him. And so, with the invitation, Hayes follows the strange man out of his swamp.
Alright. As Hayes gives the tale of the underdog, he can sense that there's excitement from the souls of the goblins, who join him in cheering one side as the obvious underdog, while other creatures such as sphinxes, and even a graceful angel or Felidar or two align with Verity's side, painting the picture of the clash of shadow against light faster and faster and blurring, until shadow and light are one in one moment, and there's a brilliant explosion of radiance in which Verity stands unbroken. But instead of the eruption that follows and the dominance of one, there's a truce extended, and there's some confusion in the souls as they align themselves to this new image shaping, in which light and darkness start showing the way forward as well. Day and night crossing in an instant and blending in an eclipse. As for purpose itself, there's a blurring of concepts as the souls seem to disagree among themselves as to what this means about strength. The harmonium is unknown as well, though the memories and images try to form the image of what a code or principle might be. Verity's image does hover around further and longer as the journey does shift, and those perceive Hayes and Verity making their rounds around Sigil, a strange place of shifting doors and buildings that make little sense, being repaired by the Lady of Pain's Dabus. The chaos of this world and the strange order imposed on it seems to make some sense to some of the souls here. And Verity and Hayes can even from time to time hear like similar voices speaking harmony and things as such, as they travel through their journeys from this sprawling city, from places to places, to the catacombs beneath Sigil.
Oh, we see
encounters
Mirko
with
and become sad.
Oh no.
Well, this is Hayes' memory, so I don't know how strongly Mirko features in it. But Mantuok does feature, like in his attack on the headquarters and trying to escape. The strange Fira
He gets put in a jar.
Yes, the strange Fira
The indignity.
and a bright-haired boy with a full of fiery passion that sometimes turns into a strange dragon creature. As well as the other high-pitched voices of like little girls, Rosa and Sony, where they did show up. And the factals here and there, where the souls seem even more confused at the concept of a multi-leadered plane of existence, seeming impossible. Surely one must dominate. And as you shape these images into the final question of the invitation out, they pose one back. Has Hayes found his true strength?
Hayes does not believe so. Not yet. There is always more to grow.
And the question forms another. Does Hayes believe his next step to true strength lies with a combination of the three?
Yes, Hayes does.
There's some shifting in response to this as the souls debate, but none provide further protests as the soul stare gets darker and colder, shifting downwards, and you realize that many souls come to the soul stare, drifting aimlessly, being part of the funnel in shape. But as one goes deeper, darker, the souls become more purposeful, less lost, less plaintive, and more old, more powerful, more purposeful even, prideful.
Oh. The dense souls sink to the bottom.
Mm.
And here, as you head further down, you feel yourself touched by a matter of familiarity and yet alienness. And Hayes can make out, no, this would not be familiar to Hayes, though he could describe it to the others.
What does this one see?
Hayes makes out this one makes more sense. Change a bit of that. Hayes makes out a familiar figure he has only seen briefly, but that maintains a presence so much taller and broader than the others that he has a shape of its own. The others briefly perceive the presence of eyes, cold gasp around their shoulders, and Hayes sees the visage of Anowen, the rune sage, looking at them.
Oh.
Huh.
An image of your former benefactor is before us.
Former?
Does this mean that he is dead?
But he's not sure, you're saying.
How does he look?
He stands in your way, arms folded, as if awaiting something.
The others can't make out his shape, can they?
No, but they sense a powerful, familiar presence.
Yes, he stands before us now.
So
These will address him, I suppose. Benefactor, what is your purpose here?
And he speaks. What is your purpose here?
Can everyone hear him? Or only me?
Those with a passive perception of 20 or so can.
Oh no, definitely not me.
I am
Definitely
deaf.
not Verity.
Verity
I
is
think
deaf.
Nika can hear him. We are
Now,
to attempt to seal the one that lies below. Oh, well, only me then.
Mm.
All right, the wisdom drain. Ah, oof. Yes, that's what he says.
you realize you will not do so by combat. Fighting her was futile from the very beginning.
Perhaps yet this one must still try. And if there are other methods to proceed, and then he turns to the party members, there are others who may figure that out.
I learned too late. But there is something you can offer her that she will want.
He tilts his head, curious.
A fourth. A fourth that is free to roll.
He understands. From whence will we acquire this entity?
You are almost there.
Pog.
Poggers.
He turns to the others and reads their expression. How does everyone look?
Nobody heard anything.
We
Yes,
don't know.
You can
But
hear
you guys
him
are
answer.
walking and you guys have feeling.
Okay, so based
How
on what
anxious does everyone look?
moment
I mean, he would be like waiting for you to be done with your conversation with whoever.
yeah, and
Okay.
then moment is what you call it, surprised when you said like benefactor, did he die that quickly and whatnot? And then a little bit what you call afraid of what is being suggested because he didn't hear what is suggested and then only hear the answer part.
Okay, Hazel turn back to Anowin Ghost and say, why does the entity wish for this?
It is not suppression that they fear. It is loss of freedom. While there is a fourth, there is still growth.
This one can relate. This one may make such an offer.
Wait, so what offer did he propose?
That's for Hayes to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for him to reply.
Hayes does not reply, but does Ghost Anowin say anything in response to Hayes? Or do anything?
Anowin just says, fighting does not work. Do you catch that?
Yep. fighting does not work.
Anyone starts stepping aside.
Anything else?
Hayes will answer Moment's question, but without turning around.
Well, I'm in the front, so you don't need to turn around anyway.
No, I think I walked in front to talk to Anowin.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. I imagine I walked in front to like address Anowin. I won't be speaking to Anowin with all of y'all in front of me. That just seems rude. The entity below
Hmm.
cannot be defeated by us as we are presently.
Is he saying that to everyone?
Yep.
He's voicing out, so I assume so.
What is the proposed options?
The benefactor believes that the creature can be willingly sealed if there is a fourth.
A fourth of them. And then he just looks at Hayes.
Indeed.
I'm just concerned about the repercussions of doing such a thing. But it seems that you're the closest to something that can empathize with us. They could not, which is the concern. To them, consuming and destroying is but a passing by occurrence. But you, Hayes, maybe you can be different.
This one does understand it's their nature. We should proceed.
If we are not able to fight, we may speak.
Hayes will nod and proceed down.
Mm-hmm.
We walk down the stairs.
And the
Yeah.
figure of Anowin the Rune Sage solidifies to Moment as he
Ooh.
passes.
Oh, you seize him.
Oh, I see him.
I am sorry. All this learning has not gone very far at all.
Well, I am sorry for myself as well for stop learning long time ago. At least you
It
At
was
least you continue
comforting
learning.
while it lasted, the illusion.
Wait, what did he say?
It was comforting while it lasted, the illusion.
I do say that at least you did continue do what you believe is right and what you love.
It brought me no joy.
Oh. All these books, and for what?
Yeah.
Joy. That's what I feel like. That is forgotten in this plane. I do not know if I even have the time to even spread such ideology anymore. tell me, anyone. For as long as you have leave. Word English, leave.
Lived.
Lived. As long as you have lived, not even a single joy has come to your life. A fraction, even.
I have experienced joy when learning was still progressing, until I hit the limits of what Seagate had to offer and realized that remaining answers would have to be carved, willingly or otherwise.
I see.
The lessons I have taught you about the binding runes, those did not come easily.
I see. Well, I ask you this. Well, last question before I'm heading to the unknown to meet her. If I were to survive back,
You won't.
well, that's a if.
This is your final point. I suggest you turn back if you wish any of it.
Oh, come on! Can you at least entertain this man? You already passed away.
And no one demonstrates by putting a foot down further, and you can see like the foot he puts down start to disintegrate from its lower parts. And he lifts it back up with that part still missing, and a bit more length of the soul's there beyond. I am not great enough to go the furthest extent.
I would still ask this question though, however. Just entertain the thought for now, even though you know the outcome of what I may or may not become. If I were to survive to get out here, will I be allowed into your library to study once more, which I have stopped?
By all means. It does not mean much to me now, but if it makes you happy, certainly. Though I may have spoken in haste, there is a way for you to return.
Well, I am listening if you are willing to provide, that is.
Someone else has to be the vampire.
I look to the party. Is that including the offer that you asked the lizard? I don't know if it's a lizard anymore. Folk to...
That one is beyond bargaining. Your return is not worth what he can offer, but perhaps you might find traction with others. Someone to take the fall.
I would think about that idea.
You don't have much time to think.
Well, I have until I continue down the steps. In that line of thought, though, since I am not a blood chieftain, how would one, such as me, turn someone else to become a vampire?
Ask your creator, and have the other be willing.
but they will not return. Is that it?
Equal equivalency exchange.
Thank you for your information, then. Well, I guess it's time for me to go. Well, nice seeing you, anyone, again. Even though,
He
as you know,
turns and leaves.
well, at least I trust him that time. Okay, that's it. Continue on.
As before, everyone hears Moment's responses, but not the questions from Enowen and statements.
Mhm.
He only appears to whoever he wants to speak with.
Hayes catches this. The Nika and Verity do not.
Oh, I know this,
You know.
but it is okay. I will not say anything. Unless you try to make Verity take the fall.
No. Don't worry, that's not my intention.
He looks around confused. What did anyone say?
You're
Nothing.
asking who you asking?
You're asking who?
Just Hayes and Moment in general, because they're the only ones who know the
Okay.
conversation.
Hayes will say that the benefactor suggested that it may be possible to bargain with the creature below.
It seems like that's what he's been telling us this whole time. Fighting doesn't work, so it has to be talk then.
Mhm. Well, it was
Indeed.
more of a something else that cannot be bargained instead of the one that he suggested to uh your friend over here. That's something you guys don't need to worry about.
If you can share.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard half the conversations. We heard
Yeah.
Moment asking about whether or not he can use his
Yeah, like
library
he
Yep.
yeah.
afterward.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably not important.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to pride
I mean, are
pride
you
more,
guys curious about
Nico?
that?
you guys curious? You know?
Wanna know about the library?
Hmm?
He's heard the conversation and he's just like, yeah, this is not interesting.
Yeah. No, the other thing is that he did suggest someone to replace Moment.
Yeah.
But Moment didn't say anything. He said, "Don't worry about it.
Mm.
Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine.
Everything's fine, and then the fire's burning all around. It's fine.
It's fine."
Pretty much.
Anything from Nika?
Nope.
Nika, are you going to be
She's
just muted the whole time or something?
no, just listening. She's just listening. There's really no input from her because she hasn't been part of this for long enough.
She just wants to save her planet.
Yeah.
Okay. And you proceed down the final lap of the soul stair. And come face to face with the
pause,
I'll
champ.
put the picture in Discord. You come face to face with what just seems to be
What is this?
a
Gears?
symmetrical series of gears, ticking, clicking, shifting endlessly.
Oh,
Flashback of Mechanus.
yeah.
And there's an overwhelming presence around you within each shift and click of the gears.
He is on guard and looks around, trying to identify the presence.
Where he has been on guard since they fight the lady, the keeper.
He's mellowed out a bit as they're walking down the stairs.
Oh no.
As he
He's like,
interacted with the spirits.
it's like, because he calmed down, he saw the forest.
Yes.
But right, he is just on guard.
And a voice speaks to all of you simultaneously. And you're not sure if the voice comes in between the vibrating echoes of the gears or the wind of the souls or something else. But its presence is clear. What have you come for?
Does anyone respond?
Rarity will respond with
Please
his
wait
very
for the others to
straightforward manner. We have come to save Zendikar and the inhabitants on it.
What do you offer?
What did she say?
What do you offer?
Rarity thinks for a bit, since this is a bargain of sorts. Actually, he will pose a question back. We could not offer you freedom, but what else would you be willing to bargain for?
What do you offer?
Hayes will speak in Eldrazi so the others don't understand.
Mhm.
This one has come to claim your essence. Once you are sealed, if this one has what is the word I'm looking for? What is a word that Hayes would know?
You know all words. You can pick any word you want.
Yeah, but what is
In character
a
Hayes
word
word. Yeah.
Hayes would use? You
Yep.
know?
You have like 5 million languages and you have to find the one lizard folk one.
Yeah,
Of
the
course, it's
lizard
lizard
folk
folk. Yeah.
one. If a portion of your essence has integrated with this one, then you will not be truly sealed.
The gears and clicking sounds and the wind of souls abruptly shifts pace, some reversing direction, some moving faster, some slowing, as there's like a general hum of activity around you. And it responds in the actually it has tongues, so it has to respond in all languages.
Respond to
denoting
everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
it responds.
Technically, Haze also has tongues.
Yeah, but as in this thing has to use all languages when speaking.
Ah,
It responds in a way that everyone can understand. You understand your duty, then. You cannot allow yourself to be stopped.
this one rarely does.
Verity would ask, what duty?
Haze turns to Verity and will say, freedom.
I'm more concerned about what's beyond that, but what it means to have an essence of all three Eldrazi. Would it endanger other planes?
Is Haze asking, is Verity asking Haze?
Both Haze and Emrakusin, she's also listening, I suppose.
This
Okay.
one does not know.
For Haze, there's a response. You must not be stopped. You must be free. You must consume, and in so build within.
And Inso what?
Build within.
Build within. Okay. Haze affirms this as it aligns with his personal desires. It is this one's purpose to grow and become strong.
Oh, that's what he says to Verity, right?
Yep.
I mean, Verity understands because it has always been Haze's thing, right? To, norm stuff and grow.
Yes. Much like the Eldrazi, if you think about it.
Yeah, but like the thing about the Eldrazi is like they're not just consuming one thing.
They know use the brain.
Yeah,
Moderation.
they just eat anything.
They
So,
eat all the things.
so like, to Verity, it's like they do not have the the morality or that kind of empathy for planes. They just like consume and just move on. But
Oh,
maybe
this one have intelligence though.
at
Nika's
least
gonna ask.
Haze,
Nika's
choice.
gonna ask Haze directly. Whatever that's happening now, are you gonna lose yourself?
He tilts his head, unfamiliar with the concept, as it has not happened to him before.
Because we know you won't indiscriminately eat everything. But we don't know if you will remain you. With your knowledge, your wisdom, your compassions.
As this one has transformed, this one has not felt major changes.
You hear Varkato going, no major changes. Really?
Indeed, this one's mind remains stable, perhaps slightly dulled.
And you see more than us as you come down.
Haze nods. With power comes understanding. This
Hmm.
one's judgment, this one believes, is unaffected.
Well, I have worked with you for so long, Hayes. I wish that the desire to maintain order and balance is still within you.
This one senses hesitation in the group in allowing this one to assimilate the entity.
It is a warranted worry because you understand how Eldrazi Titans work. They consume without a care. We are afraid that you will turn into one of them.
Indeed, the fear is valid. However, if there is no deal to be made, there is no purpose for us to be here.
That is true as well. That's why we're wondering if you're able to maintain this compassion and empathy. A concept that I do not think the Eldrazi Titan could grasp.
The one in the spire doesn't. It answered that it didn't understand.
Indeed, this one has assimilated the creature's essence, and this one's mind remains intact. If the pattern is to remain, there should not be any difference.
I have faith in you, Hayes. So, whatever decision, I support it.
Hayes turns to the entity and eagerly licks his non-lips.
Varkatu looks at this spinning around them, goes, "So this is God in the machine.
Well,
Tawi."
it is time, so clock seems to be more aligned with what it is. I don't know. Maybe. Usually we
Actually-
don't tell time, so
There's a thing I would like to ask before, but not sure if it's a good time.
you have all the
When
time.
is a good
Look at
time?
this. Look at this. You
Yeah.
have all the time.
Actually,
Um,
Verity will pose a question to Emrakul.
Mhm.
He asks Emrakul, so you control the flow of time in this play? Yes?
Redundant.
The Keeper said that even the Eldrazi Titans are having trouble keeping this plane supplied with the energy that it requires. Is that true?
Exponential growth has to be kept in check.
So with you being sealed the royal and the anomalies, it will be gone as well.
Life will be the new infection.
Hayes likes the sound of that. Hayes wags his tail excitedly. Swish, swish, swish.
And so be it.
And Hayes perceives that, well, not that he needs to be told, but pretty much anyone and everything is edible in this area.
Ah. Like the gears?
He can pick anything he wants.
Okay. Hayes turns to the party. So it shall be then. The deal is accepted. And he will pause for a moment for anyone to say something if they want to say something. Otherwise, he's gonna go for a sandwich.
He just nods quietly.
Moment, trust, verity, judgment.
Varkatu pulls out his crossbow and trains it on Hayes, saying, "Just a precaution if you start warping rapidly."
I am going to bend down and touch the floor.
Okay. Hayes will lunge at a nearby gear and chomp. Nom. Like
What is Nika trying to do by touching the floor there?
The World Soul told her to touch the ground.
I don't think you're standing on ground anymore.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
doesn't know that.
He's like, okay, I need to touch the ground. Nom.
Does she have any piece of natural stone or hedron or whatever with her?
I think
I
Nika
would
has
assume so.
Hedron stone, right?
Yeah, she has a Hedron
Yeah.
stone.
That will work
Nika has some
infinitely
stuff.
That will work infinitely better than touching the
Oh.
gear right now.
The flesh, because I think the floor here is made of whatever the gears are made
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Okay, then she'll hold on to that instead.
Hold. Okay. All right. You hold onto that piece, feeling a connection with the world soul, and you sense great distress. Where are you? I cannot sense you.
Oh, the world soul is Monka-essing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try my hardest to sort of telegraph this place.
He's like, I don't know, man. There are a lot of gears.
The GPS.
I walked down a
bad.
bunch of stairs.
Soul's there.
You are in their domain?
Looks like it. Don't really have a choice in this matter.
Are you winning?
Yes.
Oh,
Out of
no.
character, say yes.
Winning, son.
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning? Humanoid creature that is fighting a giant beast.
Yes and no.
You must win.
Hayes is all like, chew, chew, chew.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom nom nom.
We'll see in a few seconds, which means you have to kick in.
Nom, nom, nom.
What is happening?
Okay. Do we want to wait until
Well,
what transpire? Hey,
I mean, Nika chose this time to start asking, and Hayes is already eating. So,
yeah.
Alright.
I know what she wants to do, but do you want to wait him to have any
It's
effect
like,
first?
I was just gonna say, we're making an agreement.
Oh shit.
An accord has been reached.
That's not a.
Nika, let's just say the response would require you to either drop that fragment of world soul right now, or make a saving throw against something unpleasant.
Might as well. She'll hold on.
He angry. He gonna yell at you.
Yeah, he gonna yell at you. Why?
You're doing what?
You doing what? I killed that thing. You telling me you're making peace?
Make me a Constitution saving throw, Nika.
26.
Oh,
How much damage?
dude.
Eek.
26.
What is
She
damage?
rolled a 19.
Might just pass.
Oh.
Oh wait, what? That's a high DC.
Anything less than a 25, I wouldn't bother.
Oh.
Does she get the +5 within 10 feet of Verity?
Is Verity Aura even
No,
activate
I
right
don't
It is.
think. Is it?
His aura is always
Yeah,
around.
it's active. It's
Oh.
active. It's just not.
It's just
not
not
extended.
big. Yeah, it's just 10 feet.
But 10 feet
it's
is the
up to
basic one,
DMN.
with,
Yeah.
which with
Hmm.
most paladins work with.
Yep.
And are fine
But I
with.
thought all paladin power is gone.
No.
No,
Just
no.
the item.
It's just a
Wait,
necklace.
sorry, no. I wrote that wrong.
Oh my
Roll
god.
that wrong. He's not good at
Nika takes
Okay. Those are a lot of sixes, though.
Yeah.
Jeez.
half of 87 damage, which is 43
43.
from like a horrific scream that emerges in the mind as crushing damage like
Oh.
implodes
my God.
upon her. And she manages to resist like 3 different status effects that would have happened also.
Oh.
I imagine Nika just like holds the phone, and then like after
They're
the
screaming. Yeah, on
It's
the
like-
other side.
All right, are you done? And they're like, oh shit, she's still on the line.
That's exactly what she does.
Uh,
It's like,
And a moment later, Hayes chewing on the gears as they grind in his mouth. And, well, what does Hayes want it to taste like?
Are they fleshy gears or are they like metal gears?
Things are flexible.
Oh,
Oh, chewy.
Yeah, like a chewy
As in, things
metallic iron.
are flexible to the perception as Hayes wishes it to be so.
Oh, I guess he imagines it tastes similar to Kozi, because that's sort of what he expects.
Right? That's a similar taste that it gains. And with that settling down and Nika looking like shocked for some whatever reason, holding onto a stone and vibrating like strongly.
Without context, that would be so weird. Nika
Yeah.
pulls out a rock and then suddenly, ooh, looks distressed and hurt, and it's like, hello,
it's,
ma'am.
For Hayes, as the Trinity completes itself within his body, Hayes feels the convergence of flesh, space, and time together, transforming and completing the change, the apotheosis,
Oh, I've collected all 3.
and Hayes feels himself being inaugurated into something that few have ever heard of, that this group he's traveling with is absolutely sick of hearing by now. And welcome to the ranks of the Eldrazi. Though you start small, Hayes,
Whoa,
You have-
small.
you have gained, in addition to the abilities you currently have, Hayes has also gains the ability to swallow whole a medium or smaller sized object or willing creature or unconscious creature.
Oh,
Oh.
neat.
And in
Does that
doing
mean I
s-
eat them, or can I like
you can choose to
vomit them out
consume
later?
them normally, or you can choose to send them into a small little dimensional pocket plane stomach thing.
Very neat.
can you
Wait,
vomit them
is it-
out? Like,
I'm like
you know,
a
Tomcat.
slime.
Like Tomcat.
I have a lot
Oh,
of questions, but
Tomcat.
continue on. I have a lot of questions,
It
but
may be
continue on.
possible for you, and in that moment, you also realize this is what the Eldrazi have been doing.
What have they been doing?
When they consume, they add something to that little pocket dimension each time as they go. Should you or an Eldrazi ever die, everything spews forth and becomes a new world based on the content.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait, so if
interesting.
oh shit, if we would have
Oh.
killed any one of those, another
So-
planet is just gonna pop out.
We're like bags of holding, and if we die, all the contents just be like boom.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that concept is not necessarily grasped by the Eldrazi themselves, since like dying isn't in their vocabulary.
Mm.
Ah,
But
Mhm.
they do serve
Ace.
serve a certain function that's critical to the universe as a whole by drifting, eating, devouring, and
Yes.
then like making something new when they die. And in some senses, not quite different from what some of the gods actually do as well.
hmm.
Destruction is necessary for creation.
Yes.
So
This one
wait, you are
begins to
telling me we
understand
can
now.
actually build a city in?
This
Hazes.
knowledge is for hazes.
I know, but I'm like spitballing out of character. But my character doesn't know.
Hmm.
Build a small city in Hayes' stomach. Every time someone wants to go and live in it, it has to go voluntarily being swallowed by him.
Yes, it's like come. You may settle in my
Stomach.
Stomach.
There's also a
Personal
warning
demi-plate.
from the three fellow colleagues you have now
Mhm.
that it is best to, if you're starting small, to not expose yourself too much, because certain elements will take great offense at some budding little Eldrazi god ? Thing and will attempt to smite you, mainly gods and demigods and such things.
Ah, okay. And I suppose as his first act of coming to know this knowledge,
Mhm.
he will revert back to the most haze-like he's ever been, without the funny shapes.
All right.
Does Varkatu panic and shoot me?
Because he did change shapes again a bit.
But back to the lizard folk though, so
Varkatu still has the crossbow trained on you, trembling. And Varkatu Varkatu states straight away, like, state your name, maiden name, father's name, surname, background, occupation, and a list of rattling protocols.
right here we go approach Hayes and check
This
on
one is
Hayes.
known as Hazakeen of the Harmonium. And I'm not sure if I have the badge, but I suppose I can like transform a badge into my hand. That's like a part of my hand, but it looks like I'm holding it.
Wait, don't you have a badge when you
I'm
left?
pretty sure
I
he has
do
the
have a
badge.
badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I lost it at any point in
Nope.
time.
Nope.
Well,
just
when Varkatu shoots forth his rapid fire questionnaire or security questions,
Mhm.
you realize Hayes realizes that he's actually capable of answering at the same pace if he wishes to.
Oh, Hayes will not wish to.
do not
It's
scare the
just
man.
it's just a small matter of time. You could slow things to listen to them a bit more clearly, or speed up your own answer.
Do not
Ah,
scare
I can
the-
listen
Basically,
faster.
Hayes has all three powers.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
As
still
small
got
as
to a
it
lesser
goes along.
degree.
But as small as it may be, it's still very powerful.
Yeah, but it's still very powerful. So he does have all three of them. Instead of, because they have their own specialized powers, right? But now
Mhm.
Hayes
No,
has all
but
three of
without
them.
all three, there's something unbalanced.
Mm.
It's like if you just have space and flesh but no time, there's no permanence.
Mm.
And if you have like space
Time and flesh.
time but no flesh,
No.
you have no form, and you have
Yeah.
like so on and so forth. So the three are kind of needed together.
So is it
Balance.
Triforce? Is actually a Triforce.
The trifecta of reality.
And you have like, and this Haze weird number 4 has like thrown heart into the mix, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
So
that's
now-
the important part, the heart and the
So now
compassion.
Hayes can actually comprehend divide by 0.
Compassion. It has been put there artificially by the paladin.
Oh wait, oh no.
The rules are there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verity will continue to like guide Haze or something like that though.
Hayes will share with the class.
Class. Now
This
am
one's
my
mind
student.
remains intact. This one has gained a deeper understanding of the entities. The deal is forged. And then Hayes turns to
I look at Nika.
Okay.
Muraku.
Nika is still holding a vibrating stone that's vibrating herself. And Hayes understands that this entity behind this stone and the vibration on that is a
I can see
hostile entity.
Okay.
The world soul is considered hostile to you.
Hayes sees the stone and sees Nika trembling with the stone. Does Hayes know if the entity can hear if he speaks?
The stone, this domain is Emrakul's. The stone
okay.
has a connection with the one that holds it willingly.
Okay. Hayes will speak to Nika. If the deal is to be upheld, that entity must not be made aware of it.
Well,
But then
and then,
Verity
Wait,
is
and
the-
then,
like
and
Listen,
then,
the
Verity will
agreement
say-
was to lock
yeah,
that
we are here
up.
to seal though. The
We're
deal
here
is for
to
the world soul
seal-
to seal.
that
Yes.
thing, which is what we're doing
Yes.
now.
Yeah. So that's their part of the bargain, which Hayes expects that they will
Okay.
They will
Meanwhile, Nika, because some time does pass, please make me another Constitution saving throw. Is it baby rages at you again?
Sure.
Oh no.
Oh no.
should
Oh
have dropped
no.
it for
Oh
now.
no.
Oh no.
You take 80
I
points
think
of
that's all her
crushing
health.
done.
She
I
think
can't have
that's
that
all her
much health,
health.
right?
Yep, she's
what's-
down.
Nika's
no.
down, and well, she's down. She's also stunned, starting to petrify, and
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh
Verity
no.
will go to
Can
Nika
Hayes
immediately.
zoom over and catch
Yeah.
her?
I'm immediately biting my own
Zoom.
arm, putting
Can
it
we
on her.
save her?
I think
do you have
Gonna-
anything that prevents petrification?
Let me have a look in my spells list.
Hayes, do your new
Is it
any
this
new
does
power?
the spell magic or
No, you know what you
Revive?
do? What you do is you allow her to be petrified so she doesn't die, and then later on we find a friendly cleric who can greater restore her back to existence.
I do not have greater restoration. It's a high level spell that
Yeah,
paladins
yeah,
do
it's-
not have access to.
A
Yeah.
cleric will be required for this
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that part of the thing.
Mhm.
As
Okay,
Nika's beginning to petrify while she's lying down and everyone's panicking around her, the voice around you speaks. You have taken the first step. Now you must leave before I collapse this domain on myself.
hmm,
Nika,
um,
please.
question.
Verity will carry Nika.
Do I know that if I swallow a creature, like can I regurgitate it later?
You can. Let me see. Well, as long as you send it to the right pocket plane and not normal eating.
Okay. I
No,
will.
Question will
No,
help.
Verity will say no.
Take
Let
out.
me carry Nika.
And
Okay.
regurgitating will, eating and all that will still take you some time because it's still medium to medium.
Okay.
Okay. Before Verity says that, Hayes will say, "This one can extract her
In
unharmed."
what's free?
Hayes will.
Also, when Nika falls down, the piece of that world soul rock bounces off somewhere and vanishes into the void.
Oh.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh well, it's gonna
Uh-oh.
It was
start
unwelcome
locking.
here.
Well,
Okay,
it's
well,
start
Hayes will
locking.
just quickly swallow Nika and put her into pocket
When
dimension.
you no, before you do that, Verity's like, no.
You too much time.
Yeah, Verity will say no. Not now.
Oh, okay.
Please.
I thought it was like a fast thing, like
No.
and then it's
No.
gone.
You're not
Like
practiced
Yoshi.
yet.
Okay.
You're not practiced yet.
Verity is like, no. And even if you can, Verity will say no.
Okay.
Verity will carry Nika. He has the carrying capacity.
I
Don't
imagine
worry.
that it's like halfway engulfing, and Verity's like, no, and then he's like, oh, retract.
I mean, even if you eat before you eat him, Verity's like, no.
Up.
Okay, never mind. Verity will carry Nika and we'll get off here. And he will turn to Emraku and say, I expect you to uphold your side of the bargain. And then he turns. Takes
We
Nika.
go, we run, we
Yeah.
flee.
I take out my crossbow and just walk slowly behind Verity.
Okay, one of your members is walking slowly with the crossbow out.
Everyone else is like,
Makato's
holding.
running and he stops and looks at you. What are you doing? Hurry up.
This
He's his
where
lizard running.
this is this is where my journey ends, sadly.
No, come with us, Moment.
I really do wish to come with you. But once this domain collapses, I might not be here anymore.
Verity
Yeah.
goes to Moment. Like he carries like Nika and he has his other hand and his other hand he's like, come on,
The
come with me.
vampire says might. This one may be able to preserve you.
Yes. Do you want me to carry you as well, Moment?
Well, I want you to carry this in case if I do disappear.
What?
The crossbow.
No, Moment. You are more important than the crossbow.
Trust me.
Come with us.
I will come with you, but trust me to hold on this. This
Any
crossbow.
moment now.
Hold
Verity
it.
takes the crossbow like very quickly. He's like, all right, have your crossbow. Come with me.
Okay.
Hurry up,
I'm-
Moment. I'ma eat you, I swear. I'll be like, nom.
I will run with Verity.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And Verity's other hand is holding Sile. And then he's like, we are just running up the stairs.
We've lost track of how many hands Verity has at the moment, but we presume this is his normal course of trying to hold everything.
Yeah.
All right, is everyone running as a group?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone runs. Nika has petrified fully now.
Yeah,
Okay.
where he's carrying.
It's not dead, so
You don't make
Sayo
death save.
Sayo actually has to help you carry Nika
Yeah,
Oh.
she's
because
made of
she's that
stone.
heavy.
oh yeah,
Mm.
statue is heavy.
And then
She got heavier when she turned into a statue.
yes,
The stone is
Mm.
denser than flesh.
We go. Yeah, then.
all right. You run up and out towards the strange soul stair.
Mhm.
Yep.
And behind you, you hear the precise moment when all the gears just stop moving.
Oh.
The gears stop moving. The wind ceases from the souls beneath,
Mm.
and it's like the sound of a clock stopping.
Oh.
It's all quiet.
You all may make one action or whatever before I take the next move. What will it be?
We are still
Uh,
halfway up the stairs, is it?
How far are we?
You've just gotten up onto the stairs.
Is
Oh.
Is our connection question still being
Are we?
severed?
Yeah. Are we back?
Not yet.
Okay.
One
Yes,
action.
Action.
I feel like things are gonna collapse. So
Yeah.
we.
How many
I'm-
people do we have right now?
Yeah. How
two
many
people?
people? Do we?
2 people carrying.
Sire and Verity, and then Nika.
I think we have 4 and 1
Who's
statue.
4 and 1 statue, but the statue is being carried by 2 person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Never-
so 4 and 1 statue is not included the statue, right? So 4 living person and 1 statue.
Yeah.
I am instinctively going to cast fly. Give it to Verity,
That
Haze.
seems correct.
Verity, Haze, and our friend that I absolutely remember the name.
Sayo.
Sayo.
Wait, is Sayo carrying with
Nika.
for
Yeah.
Nika?
Yeah.
But I do not have enough for anyone else, including the friend.
So
Yeah, I don't have my radiant soul.
But I have a suggestion.
are you casting on Varkatu or Sayo? You only have one action. You don't have time for
Yeah. So, but okay. So, GM Sayo is still consider I have to cast fly on, right?
Yeah. He's his own person.
Okay. So, here is the thing. I will cast fly on Sayo, Verity, and Haze.
Okay.
You
when
still should have levitate, right?
We all still have the levitate
Yeah, we all have
thing.
levitate.
Yeah, we all have
Cast
levitate.
levitate on me and Vakatu and drag us.
Okay.
No, the gravitational shift is only for ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, it's self only.
So
Self only?
you cast on your
Because you need to
You
someone need to
cast-
grab,
Verity will do the gravitational shift. You can cast fly on the others.
but you need someone to drag you. Then someone has to
No,
carry.
you
the
can
statue.
float up, but only like 20 feet per turn or something.
But
like
you
that.
know, but you can being dragged by someone else better, without traction.
Float Nika. Pick up Varkatu.
we
pick up-
can't float Nika.
We can't follow you. It's self.
It's an at will self.
Float.
Yeah.
Well, y'all can carry. You're strong.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I said fly on both. And since you guys need to move a certain direction, I can cast levitate on myself.
Yeah, then we
Haze
can
have-
drag.
Yeah, Haze have to fly.
Because
I can
Vakatu
grab
cannot-
I can grab Varkatu and fly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then just drag me. So yeah, my action is cast fly in 5th level. Give it to Verity, Haze, and Sail.
Okay.
Hmm.
I am thinking.
But-
Okay,
But
if
I
you
do not-
do that, Haze is gonna grab you
Okay.
because your concentration becomes the most important thing.
Mhm.
Verity can cast freedom of movement if
so-
we need it.
When you after you cast that, Haze will say good choice, and then he'll with his action he'll grapple you, and then
I will willingly being grappled.
and he will use his key point bonus action to just like dash straight up, trusting that the others will be able to handle each other / themselves.
Verity will cast freedom of movement on.
Hello?
Varkatu.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
You can
dropped
give it
out.
on
My
Vakatu.
computer froze, so
Oh.
I'm just using mobile now.
Okay,
Alright.
so
Right.
who did you miss? Is it my
Okay,
flying thing that
we
you missed?
just start
I
again.
heard you casting it on Verity, Sail, and
Haze.
Haze.
Yeah,
Yes.
then that's correct.
All right.
So you miss Haze part then.
And then
I think.
Haze's action is to grapple onto
Moment.
Moment. Can I
And
grapple
then-
2 people? I
And
don't think I can.
I think Verity can grapple with.
You have
Verity can
full, right?
either Verity grapples Vakatu and drag him, or Sayo can drag Vakatu.
You have
and-
you have a number of grapples equal to your equal to your attacks,
Oh, so we
okay.
can.
So I can grab
Then-
Varkatu
and obviously your free hands.
yeah. So I have Varkatu and I have
Moment.
Moment.
Okay,
as my
then
2
Verity,
actions.
Sayo on Nika.
And I have a lot of movement speed, so even if I'm encumbered, it should be okay.
Then Verity will cast freedom of movement on you.
and then I dash and
Yeah.
soar up into the sky.
Yep.
With my key
You got
point.
freedom of movement as well.
New.
Okay, so that's what the actions you take are, and
Yes.
then with the clicking stop of the clock,
Huh?
The soul stair implodes outwards.
So
It's a
it
strange
explodes.
phenomenon, as in like the gears just click stopping, and then as if nothing suddenly exists below you, and everything pushes upwards like a
Oh,
rushing jet below you, whooshing upwards, flowing past you in a sudden rush of time and the timelessness and shortage of time. And as the wind rushes past you, so Haze, Verity, and Sahil realize that their flight stops.
oh no! My flight
As-
stops.
As who is holding on to a moment?
Haze.
What you're holding onto starts to rapidly decay, degrade, and disintegrate at once,
Oh no.
leaving clothes behind.
And then all the vampires that were before that soul stair is the same.
Don't worry about that first. The
Ah.
flight is off. What you should do as you start
Is there-
falling,
Is there anything? Are there any walls nearby?
you
How f-
are in the soul stair.
I thought we went up.
I guess I will cast levitate on
Have we
myself
reached
if I
the
have
top?
action.
You just started at the bottom, and then there's an explosion, like sort of thrusting you upwards. But
I will use my self levitate feature.
Verity will do that as well. Levitate.
Zoom.
And he's going to use his other hand to grasp Sayo. So Nika Sayo.
all right,
Oh,
the rush of
strength.
the rush of
Oh.
wind pushes you up, not quite enough to reach the top, but through your own levitational abilities, defying gravity or the absence thereof, you arrive back in that same hall where you were greeted by the keeper and all her guardians previously. And instead, you find piles of dust everywhere, looking undisturbed as if this place has stood for centuries.
Oh, I should have sent Moment into my pocket dimension. He might have been okay there.
But I
It
don't
is-
think you can swallow.
It is silent. The entire place is silence and dust and opulent finery.
I let Varkatu down and I look to see if Verity needs help because he's carrying a lot of weight.
He puts Sayo down as well, and we put down Nika, I suppose. We do not have connection with the world, so I guess we look around and see if the portal is still there.
You do not see a portal where you came out from last time.
Oh no.
Mm.
Do we have means of contacting the Mercy Killers? Sile, does he have some kind of
Does
device?
he have because Verity has sending stone that goes only to Anoan, so
Okay.
I don't think that helps.
To cut a long story short, Sahil suggests that he may have compromised part of his duties by allowing what just happened to happen. He
So
just
did
bear-
Verity.
Yes, he says that. And has his head down. But as you all emerge out and eventually find your way to the surface, you find Malakir itself a ghost city. Silent, opulent, dishes still on the tables, wine still in goblets, laundry still hanging, just the silence of a population completely missing. Everything still in place. And you are also aware of shifting and changes around you as Zendikar normalizes itself with the absence of the Eldrazi. though normal might be hard for some to adapt to now.
Right, he looks around and then he turns to Hayes and doesn't see Moment. And he's like,
Hayes is holding on to clothes.
yeah. He's just quietly looking at the clothes and say, and he looks at the crossbow. Yep. He's just like standing looking. And then he turns to Saya and say,
we have done what we could. And I think we should report to the Mercy Killers.
The future will be difficult for the two of you.
We
This
did what we could for Zendikar, but I don't think we should return to either of them right now.
Yes. I don't think you'll be able to return as well, Hayes, to Sigil.
Indeed.
We have
The immediate future will be difficult, but this one will not force.
Verity, you feel the return of your connections, although there's also confusion underlying that, as a distant relative starts immediately pinging you with 1,000,001 questions that are best not answered for now. And we return to the current conversation.
Yes, Hayes will say, this one will not force the others to bear the weight, to bear the consequences of this one's decision. And Hayes will drop his harmonium badge and bamf to somewhere else and start fleeing the immediate area.
no, Hayes. Come back. Hayes.
And Hayes is zooming because he's very fast.
and Bertie would just call for Hayes.
Hayes, come back.
Yes, but Hayes is no longer within earshot.
And we move the scene forward.
Yes, I think that'd be appropriate.
It doesn't take long for the planeswalkers to locate the location of Nika, which Nisa states as a high concentration of organic stone made it easy to locate. The planeswalkers soon arrive on the scene, taking stock of the group story or what they choose to tell or what they choose to omit. And Jace quickly picks up any sort of necessary paperwork or the mental equivalent thereof, with Gideon doing a degree of disaster control and Nisa doing her best to try and pacify the world's soul, who is currently in a childish rage. But thankfully, it doesn't seem to translate to the rest of Zendikar's inhabitants for the time being.
But
Days pass into weeks.
Do the Mercy
if
Killers
you wish,
show up and nuke the place?
The Mercy Killers went through their Operation Purity, and there was initial rejoicing at the lack of horrible abominations emerging from the wreckage of Seagate and suppression of things. But what the Keeper did say did come to light, one thing after another, with life being scarcer in the natural elements, more abundant with the humanoid populations, which do start finding it harder and harder to support their growing numbers. Gravity leads to the collapse of marvelous or unnatural phenomena that once
held commonplace and were taken for granted by Zendikar, such as the Hedron network and various other terrain features. The royal ceases, climate patterns shift, time itself moves on, and there's several terrible catastrophes of released energy and things speeding up with entropy. But Zendikar adapts for now on its new borrowed time and measures. In the meanwhile, perhaps we should look and see how the others manage the epilogue.
But
Ooh.
And he's
someone fall
gone.
off.
He's
he
gone
fell off.
himself.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
back.
Okay.
He
Ooh.
fell off himself. No.
Yep. I'm like, no.
All right. So epilogue time.
Oh.
Epilogue time.
Epilogue
Yeah.
Who
time.
wants to go first?
I can go first.
All right, Hayes can go first.
Hayes will become a children's story that parents tell their kids. He's the boogeyman that abducts people who run astray or people that enter the forests at night. And he eats them. Nom, 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 nom. And he travels Zendikar like a Pokemon trainer, trying to catch at least one of every creature to devour, so that he can become strong. And he no longer takes the form of lizard folk, so that it's difficult for him to be tracked.
What form does he take in that case?
Hayes is lacking in creativity, so it'll either be like some sort of humanoid when he wants to like blend in, or a small, well, not small, but like a dragon. I don't know if there's like a size limitation.
I mean, dragons exist in all age categories.
Yeah, and it depends. Like he might be like a cow. He blends into whatever environment that he's in.
Right. So if people hear mooing at the night, they know they're screwed.
Yes. Sometimes, if they're like in a farm, and like, wait, all the cows are meant to be asleep. No, that's just a cow. Okay, that's actually just a cow. We're fine.
Right. Hayes becomes the boogeyman.
Yes,
And
he
I'll say,
becomes the boogeyman.
It doesn't take him long to realize that the world soul has directed its hostility onto his person.
Yeah.
Although by then, Hayes also realizes that there's no reason for him to be bound to Zendikar either if he doesn't want to stay.
Oh, I can leave. I do have a key.
All
But
it requires you is to be very creative in your application of gravity and time and distance. That's all that plane shifting is.
I see. Oh. I think he will stay for a while until he is, unless he doesn't feel like he can outrun the world soul. He will stay for a period of time until he feels strong enough, until he's achieved his mission of capturing one
I'll
of
say
every
the world
creature.
soul doesn't allow you to finish your mission, though you do
Okay,
get
so I need to
something.
escape. Okay, I will escape then.
What is the next place you jump to?
I think Hayes will return to his swamp and see how that be before jumping again, because I doubt he'll stay there for very long. Because there are powerful things for him to challenge and devour.
Right, to cut the long story short, whatever it was that Hayes found powerful then is
Well, very few things compare when having come face to face with Eldrazi.
Yes. But he needs to find things that are powerful that he thinks that he can fight.
Mhm.
So probably a step down from those things.
On the
And then
bright
he'll
side, his
eventually
original
assimilate.
swarm is probably safer after that than it has ever been for a very long time.
Yay.
Does he know where he's going after that, or shall we just leave it in the question?
I think we'll just leave it open-ended.
Hmm.
He planet hops, like he hears stories of powerful entities, and then he goes around challenging them.
Well, where Hayes goes, Hayes also starts to understand why planeswalkers are feared and mistrusted in general.
Yes,
Or
he's
things
like, yes, they should be afraid of me. This is very logical.
Right.
I will eat them.
We move on to Nika. The petrification gets removed by Gideon and the other planeswalkers shortly after. But what does Nika spend the rest of her the next few years doing, or her long-term plans?
I guess she's got about 30 years left of being alive. But she doesn't want to stay here anymore. She's gonna try and find a way to skip down, go somewhere else.
I mean, Verity can
Skip
bring you to
Town
the
or
sigil
Skip
if you like.
Planet?
Plane.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, that ties in with Verity and Sail, as there is a ship waiting to take a certain group back to Ark.
Nice. Seeing that she's actually going to go to Sasher and ask if he wants to leave.
You arrive at the compass point, find it empty and closed and cleared off, and it would seem Sashir has already beat you to the boat.
You see him
glad
on
to
the
know.
boat, like
It's
waving
"Hey,
at you, like, oh.
took good joy."
Verity will take the log in the meantime as well.
She's
And
gonna.
Moment's hat.
Yeah, and Moment's hat.
She would
Verity starts wearing a hat. now.
probably, after getting petrified, just tell the lot thank you, but should have left her a rock.
No, Verity would definitely say no. He will not leave a friend behind.
Lul. But yeah, she's gonna try find some gigs, do her old job back, get some contacts, do some shipments.
Not in Zendikar anymore, right?
No, elsewhere.
Right.
The skill set carries over.
The events that Nika has experienced has changed her mind greatly about remaining in Zendikar, understandably. And Kavros, this strange fellow with the big antler helm that folks seem to be terrified of, informs Nika that he's in need of an assistant since there is a vacancy that bureaucracy isn't quite able to currently classify, except death by old age.
Oh.
She will reply with, "It doesn't include having me to like do all that marching shit, does it? Or wearing uniforms?"
As far as they're concerned, Kavros informs you that he prefers an agent off the books right now, and especially one that knows how to deal with Eldrazi and similar creatures.
Can she surmise that he's talking about what Alara did and reference to the actual like book, the tome, and the bindings?
Yeah, it would seem that he's referring to that particular personal assistant.
Well, if y'all can promise that I can get in and out easy, I'm game.
A handshake will seal the deal.
I shake his hand.
Welcome aboard, saints and sinners all.
I like the sound of that. Before I go, and then she runs off to like give Gideon a kiss before leaving.
You shouldn't have, really, but thanks.
Come find me.
I will, but we have to find a certain someone first.
I nod and then get on the boat so it doesn't leave me.
Who are they missing? Was everyone there?
Yes, they are looking for you.
Oh, they're looking for me.
It's like
Oh,
lol,
fun.
you're in trouble now.
Yeah, getting hunted.
Yep.
Hayes is traveling around making delicious food.
Yes, so Kian, Verity and Sile understandably do not report back.
We are in big trouble.
Kavros
Are
and
you?
Stravas agree to prepare certain evidence regarding your unfortunate demises.
Ooh.
We're still ask Sayo on his opinion on this matter.
Wouldn't be the first time someone has gone rogue.
Mm.
Maybe they had their own reasons as well.
We all have our reasons, I suppose. And then where he like, I mean, he's not openly more like more affectionate to Sayo, I suppose, because his hand on Sayo's like
You
waist and
don't
then
you don't need to wear your armor anymore.
Exactly.
You can dress in civilian clothes.
yeah, put his like arm on Sayo's waist and say, "Hey, perhaps this is for the best."
It-
And then he kisses Sayo on the cheek.
The helmeted sheet.
Yep.
It just doesn't really feel like a victory. Is this what it ends up like?
Even every time I do this, it doesn't feel like a victory, so life just moves on. That's how Zendika will move on as well. At least the people living here don't have to contend with the Royal.
I hope so. I hope we did the right thing.
Verity would not says right or wrong. At the moment, I think we did.
Varkatu takes a position on the boats, isolated from other people, where he can be occasionally heard muttering, "God is dead. God is dead."
Poor Varkatu, man. He's seen some shit.
He's
Yeah.
seen so much shit.
He's seen a guy just beside him disintegrated to oil and dust. So he does see a lot of shit.
I think at some point he was also a 4-year-old dragonborn. So
Yeah, I think that's
Yep.
the most
Oh.
terrifying thing.
Yep.
Hayes was a 4-year-old lizard,
Lizard once.
and then he
So-
was a 60-year-old.
Verity and so will actually accept the offer.
Verity and Sile moving to Ark.
Verity accept the offer,
Kavros and Stravas produced a set of documents that definitely took way more than a few days to prepare that they conveniently happened to have on hand.
Wow.
Oh.
They thought about this. They were like, we need these people in our team.
There
Ready
is
to
One
go.
for Hayes as well. Hooray!
there isn't one for Hayes.
Oh,
Aw.
they
Aw.
knew.
It would be convenient if all three of us died, right?
Hmm.
As for a moment,
Yes, I'm Dust.
you learn about something that you could never have as a vampire.
Huh?
Because something that does not die, without destruction, there is no creation. And without death, there is
Yes.
no reincarnation.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh? You get isekai'd?
Do I get isekai?
Becomes baby. He becomes Verity and Sile's adopted
Oh
child.
no!
You won't be required to frostpick now, but let's just say sometime in the epilogue, a child is born that is unusually bright and perhaps unusually solemn as well, carrying a great wealth of experience that it is yet to shape into understandable words and actions.
You get
But-
isekai'd.
I did get isekai.
Hmm.
Huge.
So I did become the jobless isekai man.
Indeed.
You can decide what exactly that child is at some point in time. But
Okay.
rest assured that moment does live on
Mhm.
through a different form.
Okay.
Yes, that's so good.
And perhaps sometimes he even recognizes fellow kindred spirits while walking around.
The vampires. They get
The
that
vampires
second
are among-
chance.
They are among us.
Oh no.
They all get a second chance.
One of them becomes
Among Us.
Dr. Acula.
Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else anyone would like to add for the epilogue?
I would like to add something.
Sure.
Whenever Verity checks the crossbow,
Mhm.
there is no bolt, as you have noticed that Moment doesn't even put any bolts on it when he fires,
Mhm.
but there is a parchment stuck there rolled up.
Oh. Verity will eventually find out about that. What does it say?
So it says that, Dear Verity, by now if you see this, I have accepted my fate, knowing what would have happened. This crossbow should be given to you, and when you come across someone with, let's say, the same patron as
Appropriate flair.
a patron that is similar to mine, the Raven Queen,
Mhm.
you may, to your, of course, choosing if you want to give it or not, to that particular person, as this was once her bow instead of mine. And you
Okay.
do see feathers around the bow, the crossbow.
Mm. Verity. No,
And PS, a small PS, don't be alarmed if there's a weird black small bird fly around. It might be her looking.
That's all in the notes, right?
That's all in the notes, and that's it.
Okay. Verity will keep that in mind. So if we meet anyone that's Raven Queen, our character Warlock, apprentice of Raven Queen, he will pass it to them. Maybe it's your next you. We don't know, but
I don't know.
he does keep the crossbow and he he will keep that in mind for you.
Okay. That's all I need to add.
And as for Verity, he goes. I think he follows the boat back to Ark. Question is, where does he and Sayo go?
That's a story for another time.
Yes.
Go
Because we
look
know
for
Nika
your
go with
lost
Vakra,
pet.
with Kavros. I think he's going to do what he sets up to do. He wanted to do. But that's a story for another time.
Mm-hmm. It's not likely that Verity and Sayo will be compatible with Vithalanos for a long time anyway.
I don't think so, yeah.
Nika,
Travel
there's-
the
yeah, Ni-
worlds.
Nika, there's odd jobs for Kavros, and a lot of them involve plenty of traveling and looking to places that people wouldn't ordinarily be happy seeing other people looking into. Most of them places of significant height.
Oh no.
She would be elated doing this.
Hmm.
Like, it's fun. Fly
Climb
around.
Yeah.
new mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no more self-flotation device, right?
No, once you're off Zendikar, that part of the world so leaves as well.
So she's gonna use her core hooks. Because there's no core here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she
Really
pioneers the core technology. Oh,
Well, not necessarily, but like as far as people are concerned, you do some Assassin's Creed bullshit every time and no one understands.
Everybody, they see her up top and then suddenly she just jumps into hay bales for no reason. Like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? That's freaking dangerous. And she's like, I'm used to this.
You just need
But
to
the
know
weird
how to
thing is-
land.
Yeah, but the weird thing is she takes no damage.
Exactly, because she's a monk.
She's a
bitch. She's a monk.
Ah,
yeah,
that was
Verity
their
would-
secret.
I mean, Ark would be stable because of the binding runes, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Verity would be like,
that
not
was
really-
our whole mission.
yeah,
remember?
would be conscious about the binding runes that's getting built or built already.
Mhm.
Probably trying to help maintain that. But yeah.
You have the spare book, right?
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
the book, the spare book.
Easy. Become secondary teacher person.
A banana toe.
New police. The new banana police.
He's not a police of the binding runes.
Exactly.
Well, rest assured, you don't have to take on that job because Kavros and Stravas are going to assign it to like the most administrative kind of people that can do that sort of thing tirelessly, so that you all don't really have to.
Yeah. But I mean, just in case if
Hire a
anything goes
governor.
back, like if anything goes bad in some future, there is a a very backup plan, you know, like a plan C, which is Verity.
Hire a governor to do the job.
Yeah. But like, if anything emergency happen and things really go really bad, like there is still Verity to look for information, I suppose.
Speaking of information, Kavros does have a lot of questions about the lizard folk that originally was with you for the last segment and where he went. Innocent questions like,
So where
Yes.
did you meet him?
Verity actually
Varakatu knows where.
doesn't say a lot about that. He just say they have a conversation with Emraku, and that is that.
where do you think they might have gone off to?
Trap.
I know about Hayes. I think he will just find new places to go to.
A fresh hunting ground.
I would like to meet him at some point in future to talk.
Me too, Kavros. Me too.
Go Verity. Visit the Shadow Swamp again.
Yeah, I think he would if he could, though. Like,
Recreate the duel.
Every year, go to the Shadow Swamp.
I mean, it would be kind of nice if Verity does actually meet Hayes once a year or something at the Shadow
Sayo, who doesn't
Swamp.
have wisdom dumb, does warn Verity that a meeting between Kavros and Hayes might not go very well.
No, he won't let Kavros meet with Hayes. He doesn't even tell Kavros. It's just Verity meets Hayes in the Shadow Swamp once a year.
Let's just say that with the Sayo's help, Verity's lying doesn't have to suck so much anymore. In fact, it becomes a bit of a necessary skill.
Eventually, Verity takes up deception.
Verity lying?
But the thing is, the
No.
deception is not deception per se. It's just obfuscation.
It's just
just
the
like not
natural
telling.
charisma.
Yeah.
It's half truths.
The
It's-
basic +5.
Like if
from the
anybody
20
asks
charisma.
Verity,
Yeah.
if anybody asks Verity, is Hayes alive? Verity can say he's dead because all Hayes is dead. There's
Yeah.
only new Hayes.
Like Hayes by himself, that being is not there, and he has transcended into a different being.
I mean, worst
So-
comes to worst, you use the Pinocchio trick.
Obfuscating.
Yeah, he's not saying stuff like he won't say stuff that is not. I mean, that is gonna say like tell people
You
about stuff.
left him on Zendikar.
Yeah, like no matter how much they question Verity, they won't get anywhere. Basically,
All right. Anything else to add to the epilogue, anyone?
Nope.
it's quite an adventure. No,
Yeah, good stuff, guys.
it was a good one.
How would we have done this if Hayes were Nerif? Oh no.
We would have fight.
Yeah,
It would have gone a different way. I mean,
fight.
everything was I didn't plan to see if Hayes would eat an Eldrazi, but he did, so that triggered off like a new series of things.
Ah,
Mm.
the events were set into motion.
Mhm.
Of course he would eat the Eldrazi.
I mean, like Jace did
He
drop
wants to
like 5
eat
million
everything.
warnings about it, so it was possible in that way. But that unlocked one ending.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da.
I think this is a good one because things get resolved, and Hayes adds the element of other stuff into Eldrazi, so this might be different.
But hey, I
It
can
was
actually
yeah.
no, I can actually say I have played a game where I actually have been isekai. Hmm.
Reincarnated.
Yeah, reincarnated in
Yeah.
another world.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, like the last part was a bit like the last scene was quite depressing. Like Verity and Sayo coming out, like holding a petrified body and clothes, and then Hayes is gone. Like
Hayes
was
just
very,
runs
very-
away. Like, excuse me.
Yes, because I figured no, it'd be bad news if I stuck around.
Yep.
no, but like ending
They're
right
gonna
there
have
would
to
have been
deal with it.
terrible. Ending
Oh,
right
yeah.
there would have been terrible.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, there's always the epilogue for us to make.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you all for playing.
Thanks.
Oh my
A
god.
9-session campaign.
This is such a good
So many.
uh,
we
good
did not
adventure.
disappear this
Yes.
time,
A
so that's
lovely
nice.
story.
yeah.
And
And now
Hayes
instead
gets
of
to
like
live his dream,
yep. And then the
traveling the
Planeswalker
worlds and
tracking
eating things.
Haze. Planeswalker tracking Haze.
Kavros
But
looking
it's,
for Hayes too.
Why does Kavros want Hayes? Oh no.
I mean, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together, Kavros is effectively something similar to Hayes.
Oh. I did not know that. Did anyone know that?
nope.
No.
But I
Nope.
guess there can only be one.
Like he is an Eldrazi-ish person
no.
too?
He didn't get his source from Eldrazi.
Ah.
But
This
he is
which
the
Kavros?
architect. The original Kavros, the dad
People called him
Kavros.
a thief.
Ah, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
he steals,
Yeah.
quote unquote,
he's-
steals things.
So
He stole the Eldrazi and put it in another plane. The tiny bit.
Ah.
so
No,
you
no,
could
that's
say-
that's Auskar,
Huh?
the other god.
What?
Yeah,
It's a Seagull portal god.
Yeah, it's a Seagull portal god.
All right,
He took the piece.
I guess we can stop recording here.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
bye.
It was a big journey.
We made it, guys.
We made it, guys. Thanks for watching.
See you next campaign with other people. Bye.